afternoon. This is Miss Maddox here, just trying to give you a little bit more information about this new chemistry flipped concept. This is just an introduction. We'll talk more about details in terms of how I expect your pre-notes and things like that to change. But just for your information, and then also so you can explain it to the parent, or parents if you're watching, so you kind of know a little bit more about what's going on in class. So the first question is, what exactly do you mean by flipped? As we stand right now in class, typically the night before a class, the student does pre-notes. Then we come to class, the student annotates those pre-notes, meaning to add to them based upon what we talk about in lecture. That might be examples or a different explanation. It also gives the students the opportunity, if they have any questions that they came across in their pre-notes, that they could ask those in class. After that, we usually do one or two basic application problems, and then the rest of the application problems they take home to do. Well, the challenge with that is that parents often can't help them with the chemistry problems. It's not something that you probably have taken recently, and so a lot of students receive a little frustration. This is a method that's going to help us to help you to both help your child and to help you individually, students, to understand the material a little bit better. So the flipping is that instead of doing the direct instruction in class, you're now doing that at home. So you'll be watching videos like this one online. Most of the videos will only be 5 to 10 minutes. They're separated by concept and topic to kind of help you along. We'll have the opportunity, because we're spending less time in class on direct instruction, we get to spend a lot more time on application, and that means we get to do some dry activities like, say, POGLEs or inquiry activities or things that manipulatives in the classroom. And then we also will get to do some wet activities such as demos and labs. There's a lot of advantages to this. The first one is differentiation. Everybody learns a little bit differently, and some people have different bases of knowledge than others. So once you listen to the video or watch the video and you've looked over the pre-notes, I now can ask you questions when you come into class to know where you individually need help, and we can split you up. In addition to that, you'll be able to specify and watch the parts of the video that help you out the most. Also, there'll be less time spent on what you do know in class and more time spent on higher level thinking. So instead of having you write down definitions or go over something that totally already made sense, you can speed through that part, and in class we get to work on and focus on problems. There becomes more time for struggling students, more time for them to ask questions, more time for me to troubleshoot their needs, more time with me to talk with them. You as individuals can rewind and review any of the lessons and concepts. A lot of my students are very active in sports activities, extracurricular events such as the dance team, or just have things going on such as dental appointments or doctor's visits, or they just had a sick day. This will allow absent students, they won't miss the lecture, and they still will get the quality instruction that they need from me, and then we can make up the other stuff some other time, like say during tutoring. We'll get to incorporate more inquiry, more labs, and more demos. Parents, you at home can watch and help your child. You can look at their notes and see, are they really taking good notes? You can also follow along with us in class and find out exactly what your child is learning at this time. The information is served, so to speak, in bite-sized nuggets, and you get to choose which bites that you want. So for instance, if you understand how to write formulas perfectly, you don't have to watch that video. On the other hand, if you know that writing formulas is difficult for you and we're about to start writing equations, you have the opportunity to go back and to review those things. Each video will be less than 10 minutes. 10 minutes is my goal. 5 to 10 minutes. Now that will take the place of 30 minutes of lecture. Now some of you are saying, how is it possible that 10 minutes can become 30 minutes? Well, what you have to remember is that in a classroom context, I have to wait for a student to come in, students who ask to go to the bathroom, a student who is late. All these things take up time. They're interruptions. In addition, waiting for students to answer questions or have the opportunity to think about the answer, we don't have to do that anymore, because I could just simply ask you to pause, try a problem, and to push play when you're ready to push play. And so all of our discussion that normally would be taking place at a very slow pace can now take place at a faster pace, and you can simply pause and rewind and review and play over and over again as you see fit. that change things? Our homework will now become things like taking your pre-notes, watching videos, annotating your notes, and completing the WISC survey. The WISC stands for Watch, Summarize, and Question. We'll talk more about that at a later date. Classwork will become reviewing the video trouble spots. So once you watch the video, there'll be some things that you just don't understand. I really don't understand the single replacement reaction versus the double replacement reaction. Ms. Maddox, can you clarify that for me? That's something that I can now focus on in class, on that one concept instead of all 5 reactions, saving us time. In addition, we get more time with application. I can walk around and help each of you individually a little bit more, and I'll group you according to your skill set. And your skill set may change. You might be an excellent student in writing formulas this chapter, but have a little bit more trouble with balancing equations, or vice versa. You might be a student who totally gets all of the math stuff, but some of the conceptual stuff is a little bit more foggy, or vice versa. Have the opportunity to regroup you as much as necessary. We also get to do some inquiry stuff, which is awesome because that's all the stuff that relates to real world stuff. Things in the medical world, things in the natural world. And last, but certainly not least, we get to do more demos and labs. So there's several questions that particularly come up. The first one is, what if I don't have internet access at home? I mean, I want to pay attention, I want to take part in class, but I don't have internet access at home. Well, you have a couple of options. Most of these videos will only take 5 to 10 minutes. Ms. Maddox Classroom has 7 computers that are already set up. So if you've let me know in advance and that you have trouble with your internet access, perhaps via email, or even by coming the day before and getting a pass, I can give you permission to come in, log in, and watch a video. You'll have enough time. It turns out that with the new system that's been put in place in my classroom, you actually have the opportunity to watch these videos in a very short period of time because it boots up a lot faster than it used to. You also have the school library, which is available in the mornings, at your lunch, and after school. I'm available during first lunch every day, and then you also have any time after school that I'm available, you're available. What if students choose not to watch the videos? Well, the same thing that happens when you choose not to do your homework. You're going to see a decline in your grade. Now, it does mean that you won't have a chance to move forward into the classwork until you do your homework. So if you come to class and you haven't watched the video, your first assignment is going to be to watch the video. I would suggest in those cases that you make sure that you bring a headset or earpieces. A lot of you carry those anyway, so that you can actually hear the videos. But if you don't, you will have to find a way to make up that information at another time. Is tutoring still available? Yes. As of right now, tutoring is available on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 4 p.m. If I know that you need help at another time, I can set up with one of my AP tutors to help you along, or another peer tutor to help you along. Just simply let me know, and I'll be happy to help you reach your needs. Thank you for taking the time, and please feel free to email me with any questions or concerns that you have about the Flipping the Chemistry Classroom. Also, another note, just so that you know, I'm not taking credit for this in any way, shape, or form. This is something that I've been reading research about for at least the last year. I also have started to see more and more of these Flipping the Classroom videos emerge, and hearing a lot more teachers talk about how beneficial it is for their students. So I'm glad to present you with the opportunity to do something different to achieve a different result and hopefully increase your learning. Have a great day, and talk to you soon.